Thargoid hit starports, we hoped the galactic community would be generous, but they exceeded our expectations. A colossal influx of materials has enabled us to repair 2 stations in the core systems in record time. I'm pleased to announce that Armstrong Enterprise in the Baal system, and Beaufoy Vision, in the Norni system are now open for business. Keeping these starports operable allows us to honor those who lost their lives in the Thargoid attacks. Enormous thanks to everyone who participated. Senior Engineer Lilith Galloway of Aegis Research, who coordinated a parallel project, released a similar statement. Here in the Pleiades, survival is never guaranteed. But Reed's rest in Merope has endured, thanks to the galactic community's incredible support. This is what we do when things get tough, we rebuild and come back stronger. All 3 starports are now fully operational and providing a range of services. Thargoids repelled from core systems. Aegis has confirmed that the Thargoids' presence in the core systems has been significantly diminished, due largely to the efforts of the galactic community. Admiral Aidan Tanner, Chief Military Liaison with Aegis, made this statement. This is a very positive development. Using data from our Eagle Eye network, courageous members of the galactic community have formed a barrier of steel and fire, preventing Thargoid vessels from encroaching further. In doing so they have prevented several starports from being attacked, saving many thousands of lives. Furthermore, in many regions the Thargoid incursion has actually been reversed. Although they remain entrenched within the Pleiades, their forces in the core systems have been pushed back to the Baal system, their initial beachhead. Aegis offers its sincere thanks and congratulations to every one of the commanders who risked their lives by meeting our enemy in battle. These audacious pilots have proved that humanity's spirit is far from broken. Victory against the Thargoids will be hard won, but I am in no doubt that with defenders of this caliber, it will one day be achieved. League of Reparation agents apprehended. A homicide attempt by terrorist organization the League of Reparation has been foiled, and the would-be killers taken into custody. The arrests were made by Chief Inspector Kay Kilbride of Alliance Interpol, who is part of the United Task Force investigating the League. She released this statement. I am pleased to confirm that the latest assassination attempt by the League of Reparation has been prevented, and that we have apprehended several of the group's members. The operation involved revealing the location of one Dina Law, a descendant of INRA employee Tristan Law. We anticipated that the League would follow its modus operandi and attempt to eliminate Miss Law, so with her cooperation we placed task force agents at her home. Fortunately, they were able to overpower the terrorists. The captives have been transported to a secure Interpol facility for interrogation. Our primary aim is to establish the identity of Nexus, the entity that provides the organization's members with their instructions. I have already conducted preliminary questioning of the prisoners and have acquired some significant facts. I'm confident that this is the beginning of the end for the League of Reparation, and that the task force's efforts will soon pay off. Starport Status Update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are on the brink of closure. Investor Funds Colonia Shipyards. Renowned billionaire Zachary Rackham, owner of Rackham Capital Investments, has made a sizable charitable donation to build new shipyards in the Colonia region. Mr. Rackham, known in some circles as Calico Zach, made this statement. If there's one thing I remember from flying around the galaxy in a second-hand Sidewinder, with a leaky life support module, and only 50 credits in my pocket, it's the thrill of exploration. And Colonia is the embodiment of that spirit, the farthest flung outpost of civilization. That's why I want to support it by funding the development of new shipyards. Every planetary port in the region, bar Colonia Hub, will soon be able to offer pilots the support services they need. It's my way of celebrating a youth filled with poverty and danger, by giving a boost to the next generation of explorers. Brianna Blanco, a financial journalist for the Federal Times, also published a statement. Obviously this is tremendous news for Colonia and all those operating within the region. The timing of Rackham's donation is curious, however, coming as it does shortly before a company-wide audit. Having such a colossal sum placed beyond the reach of tax officials will certainly help that old pirate, and his crew of accountants, sleep better at night. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. Princess Aisling Duval's anti-slavery campaign has merged with independent charity Universal Liberty. The rebranding organization is named Unchain. The former head of Universal Liberty, Yael Toredo, expressed his delight at the union, while rebuffing questions about his rumored romantic attachment to Aisling Duval. Laurie Jameson has made a public statement regarding the League of Reparation, which claims to be seeking justice for her ancestor, Commander John Jameson. She denied any connection to the organization while describing its actions as misguided, unnecessary and evil. Meanwhile, an independent journalist has suggested that the League of Reparation may be responsible for many more deaths than previously suspected, drawing a link between the terrorist organization and various unsolved homicides. Chief Inspector Kay Kilbride of Alliance Interpol denied that the cold cases had any connection to the League of Reparation. A new academic article has drawn attention to a fringe religion that worships the Thargoids. The sect, which has no formal name, believes that the Thargoids are heralds of an omnipotent entity called the Far God. Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, a leading expert in exotheology, has published an extensive commentary on the sect. In other news, Senator Caspian Leopold has launched an initiative to construct a rehabilitation center for those affected by heightened military action in the core systems. A spokesperson for Senator Leopold said, "An escalation in hostilities from both Thargoid and human parties has left a lot of innocent civilians without food or shelter. Senator Leopold has heard their cries for help, and is building a sanctuary where the safety of refugees can be guaranteed." Finally, the competing campaigns from the Lathe Radio Network and the Lathe Jet family have come to an end. Both factions received support from independent pilots, to whom generous rewards were promised. But ultimately there could be only one victor. And those are the main stories this week. Laurie Jameson denounces terrorist organization. The engineer Laurie Jameson has made a public statement regarding the League of Reparation. The terrorist group claims to be seeking justice for the betrayal of her ancestor, the legendary pilot Commander John Jameson. Her message was recorded at Jameson Memorial, and broadcast by several media networks. There's been a lot of speculation about what connection I might have with the so-called League of Reparation, which has murdered a number of people in recent weeks. The answer is none whatsoever. Like all of you, I am sickened by this bizarre form of genealogical terrorism. I'm not prepared to discuss my family in a public forum, but I want everyone to know that I am personally appalled by this, and am doing everything I can to help the authorities. I'm sure that Nexus, whoever or whatever it might be, is listening to this message. So to them I say, stop. These acts of revenge for my great-grandfather are misguided, unnecessary and evil. If you really want to honor his name, you'll allow us to live in peace without fear. Senior Agent Tanya Ramirez, a member of the Tri-Power Task Force dedicated to stopping the League, added, "I can confirm that Laurie Jameson is cooperating with our investigation. We are completely satisfied that she, her family and her associates are entirely unconnected to the League of Reparation. We hope that her message convinces Nexus to see sense and stop this pointless violence." Worshipping the Thargoids. A fringe religion that worships the Thargoids has come under the spotlight in a new academic article. The author, Dr. Alfred Ulyanov, is a leading expert in exotheology. He summarized his work for the media. A recent report by Gethin Okonkwo highlighted the emergence of doomsayer cults in response to the return of the Thargoids. But few are as strange